Hi, today we are going to look at cross-curricular instruction, what it is, how to plan for it, and some example lessons. First, we need to define cross-curricular. Merriam-Webster defines it as relating to or involving different courses offered by a school. Heidi Hayes Jacobs defines cross-curricular teaching as a conscious effort to apply knowledge, principles, and/or values to more than one academic discipline simultaneously. Now that we know the definition, let's take a look at why it should be implemented in the classroom. There are many benefits to teaching cross-curricular lessons with your students. These lessons are very engaging. Research shows that we learn more when we are able to make connections. Our brain is constantly trying to make connections, and when it does, we learn better. By integrating subjects, our students will learn deeper. Cross-curricular teaching saves on instructional time. We know that instructional time can be very limited with all that we have to fit into the day. Cross-curricular teaching makes this easier by blending multiple subjects together. Here are some considerations and challenges for planning cross-curricular lessons for different grade levels. First, let's look at the kindergarten through third grade range. To get started, you can choose to build a thematic unit around a concept or topic that your students are learning about. All of the learning and activities will be centered around the one topic. For example, if a kindergarten is learning about animals and science, you can incorporate writing about animals. Teachers can plan hands-on activities or centers that blend subjects such as a science experiment with writing. Some challenges that you might face. Teachers need to make sure that content and skills used are developmentally appropriate. And teachers might feel overwhelmed with the time constraints of fitting in all subject areas and learning objectives. Now for 4 through 8 grade range. Make sure that you have a clear objective for this lesson and what you would like for your students to be able to do. When planning a lesson, look over the curriculum map to see when those concepts are taught in each subject. It can be hard on students if you are planning a cross-curricular lesson that incorporates English and science when they haven't learned the science terms yet. Try to make sure that students have some prior knowledge of the concepts. Project-based learning lends itself to cross-curricular learning by focusing on real-world problems that require knowledge from various subject areas. By working on a project that spans different disciplines, students will learn to apply and synthesize knowledge, which develops their problem-solving skills. Concept maps help students organize new information and make meaningful connections. They are easy to construct and can be used with any subject or topic. Some challenges that teachers may face. Well, they will need time for collaboration with other teachers, and some students may be on different levels. Everything mentioned so far falls in line with the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills Curriculum, or TEKS. This first standard shows that students need to make connections to ideas in other texts. This can include science and social studies. The second standard highlights that students can write reports, stories, or explanations related to math or science topics, enhancing their understanding and communication skills across subjects. Differentiation is important since all students are on different levels. Here are some ways to differentiate your cross-curricular lessons. Provide scaffolding by using visual aids or graphic organizers to help students who need some additional guidance. Allow students to choose from various activity options or formats, such as drawing, writing, or hands-on projects based on their interests and strengths. Group students according to their skill levels or interests for different parts of the activity. Here's an example of a cross-curricular activity for kindergarten. This lesson makes connections between reading, math, and science. First, the teacher reads the book to the class. Then, at the math station, students will create a pom-pom caterpillar, count the pom-poms, and measure its length. At the reading station, they'll sequence picture cards from the story. And lastly, in the science art station, they'll draw and label their own caterpillar, linking art with scientific concepts. In this second lesson example, we will look at how to incorporate multiple subjects into a 5th grade lesson. Students will read the First Spy Master, a nonfiction book about George Washington and the Culper Spy Ring, highlighting the role of spies in the American Revolution. For our invisible ink activity, students will mix baking soda with water to create their ink. They'll write messages on paper with their mixture. Once dry, the message will fade. To reveal it, students will use grape juice, which reacts with the baking soda to make the message visible. This demonstration shows how spies use simple methods for secret communication. Thank you for listening.